When I first saw this news, I was very happy for Ford. I was very happy for electric car fans. I was very happy for everyone. And then I discovered, unfortunately, that there is potentially something going on here that doesn't look good. That's very concerning. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Now, first with the good news, and then with the caveat that may make the good news not such good news. Ford has achieved a record sales month. It hit a new record of EV sales deliveries in November. Ford F150 Lightning sales exceeded 4,000 in a single month for the very first time. In November, the total sales of Ford and Lincoln vehicles in the US was 145,560, which was surprisingly less than what they sold last year, but not by much, by 0.5%. However, Ford's EV sales grew much more. In fact, they grew, period. They were up 43% versus November last year. 43. That's a pretty amazing result, guys. If it's true, we'll get to that in a second. That meant that Ford delivered an all-time record of 8,958 electric cars in the month of November in the United States. That translates into 6.4% share, meaning Ford broke a record. 6.4% of all vehicles that Ford delivered in the month of November were EVs, meaning that Ford would have lost a hell of a lot of money because it loses around $35,000 on every EV it sells, times 8,958 by 35,000. That would mean, if those numbers are still correct, that Ford lost $313.5 million. Wow. That's a lot of money. But either way, who cares? I mean, you've got to make some losses to make some wins, right? Ford's got to sell more EVs in order to bring down the price of manufacturing. The other positive news, Ford F150 Lightning sales more than doubled year over year to a new monthly record of 4,400. The Ford Mustang Mach-E sales grew by 21% year over year to hit a new record of 4,300, or a new record for the month of November anyway. The Ford E-Transit had a 59% decline in sales to 271. But overall, I mean, pretty good numbers. Mustang Mach-E numbers up 21% year over year. Ford F-150 Lightning numbers up 113%. I mean, overall growth of 43% versus the same month last year. This, I believe, is Ford's best month in history. In fact, it is. It's Ford's best EV selling month in history. So far this year, Ford has sold just over 62,000 fully electric cars in the United States. That's growth of 16% versus a year ago, which is not exactly what Ford was hoping for, of course, but I mean, any growth is better than no growth. And that means that 3.6% of all Ford vehicles sold this year in America were fully electric. So far this year, Mustang Mach-E, well, of course, it's sitting on dealerships. They're not really selling. Growth of only 4% versus last year. Ford F-150 Lightning, very different, up 54% with 20,365 deliveries. The Ford E-Transit is up 6% with 6,187 deliveries. In total, Ford sales have grown 16%. So that's a really good number. Of course, Ford has slashed prices of its EVs, and I'm sure that's helped. Plus, quite a few of Ford's EVs do qualify for the full tax incentive, the $7,500 discount, meaning they're quite affordable. But here's the thing. Right after this news was released, there were reports all across the United States from dealerships saying that Ford has given them cars they didn't want, saying that Ford has basically incentivized them to take the cars on so that it looks as though Ford has sold more cars than it really did. Apparently, there's one dealership with 73 Ford Mustang Mach-E's. One of them hasn't sold for over 400 days. Are you going to buy that car? No, I don't think anyone's going to buy it anytime soon unless there's an enormous discount. Now, I can't say if this is true, but there has been numerous reports of possibly dodgy reporting going on at Ford. So just let you know about this information. If you're a Ford investor, this is stuff you may want to know, but I can't actually verify it. So I'm not reporting this as facts. I'm just letting you know what the word on the street is. Now, if we ignore all that, and if all that isn't true, hopefully it's not, but who knows? But if it isn't, then November was a great month for Ford. But it did lose a lot of money, but it was still good. You get my point. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching.